Well, the loss is tragic to lose Greg himself, but it hits even harder when you lose children and a family, uh, and everyone that was on board, a father son, duo as well. It just hits even harder. It hits Matt and I harder because we lost my dad and his wife and my stepsister who was 11 years old in the same kind of aviation accident. So it really hits hard. I'm a pilot. I've flown citations 90% of my entire flying career. So I'm very familiar with the aircraft and and procedures and whatnot. And it's really tough. It's not something I want to go into detail until the total facts come out. But it's heartbreaking, to know the aircraft and to know that you train for every emergency you can think of, and they're all uh, you know they're all situations that are survivable until you stack. And that's what almost all aviation accidents are. They're not one misstep or one break of a regulation or one problem.
It's accumulation
It's
of factors.
accumulation that stacks up. And so for the pilots out there, it's extra difficult because we've been in those kinds of situations in simulators or in training, and it's just such a heartbreak.
Yeah, I mean it's just awful. I mean, it's hard to believe that he's gone because me and Dad just saw him last year at the Lime Rock Park event that IROC had, and I mean it's just awful. And it's like me and Dad talked about. I mean it's really mind boggling when you think about all the different figures and people in racing, NASCAR specifically, that have been lost in aviation accidents. I mean, I don't know, it's just unbelievable.
Any stories come to mind, guys? Obviously, Mark, he's a teammate of yours at Roush. Great race car driver, one of NASCAR's top 75. He won a trucks championship. He won what we're now calling the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series championship, second in Cup. So a great career on the track. And then you can certainly make the argument a better career post racing with what he was doing with the humanitarian work and flying the helicopter missions into the mountains with Hurricane Helene. And he had just kind of become a YouTuber and hanging out with Cletus, but especially the humanitarian work and being able to fly planes and helicopters and help people. It seemed like that really mattered to him.
Yeah, that was a really neat chapter in his career or in his life. Something that I never really saw coming. I knew Greg, from the beginning of driving the truck for Jack Roush, coming right from late models and jumping right in. He's such an incredible talent, but he was also a good dude. He was a good teammate. Um, Always fantastic. Obviously, I have one great memory of 2005 Homestead where I had a car that could get beside him, but I just couldn't clear him. And we had an epic 20 lap battle at the end of the race. And he beat me at the finish line by about 3 feet, 2.5 or 3 feet. So it was an incredible finish. But also, I remember, I think it was that same year uh, at Kansas, I think it was, and we beat him, and he ran second, and I knew he was hot on my trail. And Biffle said after the race, he said, I could see him up there. He said, I was laughing, because I could see him up there fighting that thing. He said, I just couldn't catch him. And it was just a cool moment. We had some great races. Uh, and he won a bunch of races in that 16 Cup car when I was his teammate, and I knew everything that he had in his car, and just was amazed at the performance that he and Doug and his team were able to squeeze out of that 16 car.